Do you have an area in your shade garden that you find it really difficult to have gorgeous flowers? Well, come with me as I give you some gardening tips to create a beautiful garden in your shady area. Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and today I have a fun project for you. We are going to create a container that does gorgeous work in your shade garden. So there's a couple of reasons why it is a really good idea to do a container in a shady area. We are here at our nursery, Creekside Nursery, in the area that we call the Pines, and you can see that we are surrounded by pine trees. I want to have a gorgeous display of flowers and plants in this area, but because I'm surrounded by all these pine trees, it's going to make it really hard to actually make a bed right here because of the tree roots. Pine trees, for those of you that don't know, have a very extensive shallow root system, and so to plant right here would be just a pain. Another reason that it is a great way to do, another reason to do a container in a shade garden is maybe you have those little pests that come, voles and moles, that will come and burrow and eat the roots of your plants. So that's a great reason to put them in containers because they can't get to it. This is like a self-contained garden right here, and that I can control. And I can put it anywhere that I want to and have a beautiful garden display. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a shade container with both perennials and annuals. When you're doing your container, you always want to get the biggest size pot that you have available because we want to start with a fresh dirt, fresh potting soil. You want to get a really premium potting soil. Fill your container with brand new soil every season because that way it just gives the roots a great place to grow and be happy. So I have already filled up my pot with this great soil. I am going to go ahead and add a slow release fertilizer to this pot. Slow release fertilizer is a great thing to add to your containers because it is going to give your plants a continuous feeding where you're not going to have to be watering with liquid soluble fertilizer from the very beginning. Now, the thing is with containers is that obviously you're going to be watering, it's going to be raining. And when that happens, some of your fertilizer is going to leach out of your pot. So even though this is a 6-month supply of fertilizer, it may not last me that long because I am doing a container. Also, we are in North Carolina, so we are blessed to have a very extensive growing season here, and we could easily have 7 months worth of growing season here. So 6 months is not going to last me. Once that time period is over, then we'll come back with a liquid soluble fertilizer. All right, so let's get planting. So what I decided to do is we are going to do perennials in the back. So this is gold heart. It is an old-fashioned bleeding heart, but what's so neat about it is the color on it. It is this gorgeous lime green color, just really pretty, and it's got a lot of good height to it. So I'm going to put this in the back of my pot. So I'm moving my dirt away, and I'm going to nestle this beauty in here, and you can see that it's already blooming. That's the thing about bleeding hearts, is they have such sweet, sweet, pretty blooms. They are a spring bloomer. So I'm going to have blooms. Get this guy in the center here. I'm going to have blooms in the spring, and then for the rest of the season, I'm going to have that gorgeous lime green color. Now, on each side of that, I'm going to do a euchre. This is Grape Expectations, and Grape Expectations is a euchre that is native to the southeast United States. It is part of the Villosa species of euchre, so it does really, really well with our heat and high humidity. There are some euchres that just do not do well here in the South because we are so hot and humid. The humidity is what can kill us sometimes here in the South. So I'm gonna squeeze this guy in, and it's okay when you have your containers to like squeeze them in if you need to squeeze the roots. We are just making a beautiful mess over here. It's not gardening until you get dirty, right? It's fun. So in we go. I love Grape Expectations because it has such a really pretty purple color in the veins. And another reason that we love this Grape Expectations is that it can do sun or shade. Isn't that great? Sun or shade, and it is hardy in zones 4 to 9. So you want to talk about a range of adaptability. I mean, just about anybody in the country can grow this. So it doesn't matter if you're a lot more north than we are here in North Carolina, or if you're even more southern than we are. These beauties are going to do great wherever you are. So clearly this pot is going to be full and it's going to be gorgeous. So I had too much dirt in here, and that's okay. Sometimes you have too much dirt, sometimes you don't have enough dirt. So that's why you have your containers. Just bring a little extra dirt, and then we can reuse this in another pot. All right, so I don't know if I told you, but the bleeding heart is cold hardy in zones 3 to 9. So even more cold tolerant than the Grape Expectations. All right, we're coming along here, folks. Now, got my perennials in. Remember, perennials will last you more than one season. So to add a really nice pop of color with some flowers, we're gonna go with some of Proven Winner's shade annuals. So this one is really fun. It's a Broalia. It is Endless Flirtation, and it has just gorgeous white blooms on it. It will get 16 to 20 inches tall, so it is really going to fill in this area. We're going to stick this in, and I chose these colors because it really mimics the blooms of the bleeding heart. So we're going to make a room over here, and you just kind of have to judge. You know, I've got a lot of plants right here, so you just kind of have to judge once you get in here to see how many you're actually going to need. So these will get 16 to 20 inches tall. Woo-wee, we are making a hot mess. Like I said, that's gardening, lots of fun. Okay, so we got the white blooms in there. Now, so 16 to 20 inches tall, it's just going to fill in, it's going to intermingle with the euchre and the color off of the bleeding heart. Now we're going to go with an even more fun pop of color. This is the Rockapulco Double Impatience. So the Double Impatience just have such a great bloom on them. A lot of times our customers will think that they're roses. They're not roses, they're Double Impatience. And of course, Impatience love the shade. So they are just going to absolutely thrive in these shady conditions here. With this container, you can really do, it's stuck. You can really do morning sun, a couple of hours. So when it says shade to part shade, really that means no more than 4 hours of direct sunlight. Here in our southern climate, we have really hot afternoon sun. And so this would not do well if you got that late afternoon sun. You really can do morning sun, that's fine. Of course, you just have to make sure that it's well watered. Your Double Impatience will let you know right away if they're dry, because they will get very limpy and just look sad. And once you give them a shot of water, then they will come and bounce right back. All right, I think we're only gonna need one more. I brought 4, but I think 3 is gonna do us. So these Double Impatience are gonna fill in the front. They only get to be about maybe 10 inches tall, especially when we're putting them in a container like this and we're really filling them in here. Just kind of zhuzh everybody in, squeeze everybody in. tuck it down in there. So they're gonna fill in and spill over some. All right, so I chose the rose and the white Broalia to really mimic the blooms on this bleeding heart. So we're dirty. All right, now the last thing you're gonna do for your container is you always want to finish it off with a nice layer of mulch. Mulch is really important to finish out your containers, whether it's a hanging basket that you're making, window boxes, mixed containers like this. That mulch really insulates the roots. It helps retain your moisture, so you're not going to have to water as often. It dresses it up. It makes it look really pretty. So anywhere that you see some potting soil, you're going to come in and you're going to pop it in there. You will be absolutely amazed in the difference. If you've never put mulch around your containers, your plants in your containers, you're going to be amazed at the difference that it makes. You really don't think it makes that much of a difference, but it does. It really does. So I'm just going to tuck it in here in the center, and we are almost done. Now, so we are in the end of March here in North Carolina. It is warm and it is toasty. Our typical last frost date is not till April 15th. But going ahead and looking at the calendar, we are good. We have got no frost or freezes in the forecast. So I feel really confident in putting these out. If we did have a frost or freeze, all I would need to do is either, this is a big container, so I'm not gonna be bringing it in and out of the house, but you can cover it with something to keep the frost off of it. We are underneath the trees, so it's gonna be a little bit more protected from those cold temperatures. So here we go. We have got a gorgeous shade container that will bring you months of enjoyment. Again, it is the perfect thing to do in areas that are difficult to garden with, whether it's because of existing trees or if you have pests in the ground. This is a great container to do. I hope you have been inspired. I hope I have given you some great ideas and some tips on how to create a container for the shade. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and we so appreciate you gardening with Creekside. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.